First of all, I saw. No, I mean, when you told me that you dropped in the rankings and all that, yeah, I know you don't want to hear this, but I didn't think it was so bad. I know it's hard. I know it's hard for anyone to accept losing like 100, 150 points, but it happens, and it happens quite a lot. And it was only on Blitz, right?
Yeah, yeah, just Blitz. Um, but I thought I was done with the 1900. I thought that's in the past, no more. Even the 2000s, I thought because I hit a peak of 2112 Blitz. So I thought, okay, maybe 2050 is like a low for me. But yeah, Blitz is
Yeah,
hard
but
though.
yeah, that's one thing. I mean, you're not a blitz player. You're much more used to rapping and classical. That's quite clear. That's one thing. And the other is you're you're within a margin of 100, 150 points. That's quite natural. I mean, people go up and down all the time, and on the internet, I mean, it varies much more than over the board.
Yeah,
Uh,
I know, but if it was just like a week or two, but this is like 6 weeks now, so that's why it really hurts now, because I thought I could ride out. I thought eventually I will return to where I was, but 6 weeks is a long time.
Yeah, it seems like it is, but you're also on tilt, of course. I mean, I I think that you played a lot of Blitz games, and yeah, without the right disposition, it's very hard to go up
Mm,
again. I mean, it happened to me um, last year. During the first half, I was, I think it was first half of last year. I was about 2600. I even hit 2650,
oh,
2670.
you suck. Only
And then I
2650. No.
and then I went back to 2480. I
uh,
went, yeah, I lost like 200 points, and then I stabilized. I crossed the 2500,
mm,
but then it's not like I'm always returning to the 2600s. I mean, there's this
mm,
margin where I feel comfortable 25, 50, 26 something, maybe even lower, the 25
mm,
hundreds are okay. Because it varies much more online. I mean,
mm,
you play. Sometimes you play when you're tired.
mm.
Uh, yeah, it's just not the same as playing over the board. And you fought the resistance there on the 1950s, more or less.
My dog. Oh, sorry, my dog
Oh,
walked
good
in.
God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think
You fought the resistance.
I think.
You rebound all the time when you go back to 1950,
Mm.
then you go up. So that's good. Your resistance is there.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think like I can play at this range without too much effort. Like when I am 2050 or 2100, I have to. I'm focusing super super hard. But at this range, I can just even tilt and play a little silly and still be okay. Um, I think part of it too may be that I'm maybe not respecting my opponent so much. I notice it, when you drop rating, then it's like, oh, 1900, like he doesn't know how to play chess,
Yeah,
and
it is.
yeah, yeah, and then it's just then you don't take them as seriously, and I think even though I'm trying not to do that, I think it, in the back of my head, I'm still doing that.
Yeah, and I mean it's quite hard to rebound, but you always go. I mean, there's a downward trend until you hit the 1950s, and then it's really easy for you to go up. That's how I see it. I mean, that's kind of your resistance point. You're not going to go lower than that, and it shows in the positions you're getting. Many games you're getting completely one position,
Yeah, then I blunder.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, but that goes to show that even when tilting, you're probably above that level. Yeah, you're playing within a normal range, and that's not even your preferred time control. So it's not such a big deal. I mean, I would be much more concerned if it was classical, for example,
Or rapid. Like rapid
uh,
is my favorite. Yeah.
or rapid. Yeah, because well, it's more like chess. I mean, Blitz is completely separate thing.
Yeah,
um,
yeah. And the faster the time control, the more volatile the rating spread, I think.
yeah, and in your particular case, I think I noticed something.
Mm.
I mean, it has to do with time management.
Yeah,
Um,
okay, let me see
you're really
if
sure.
well let me see if oh, I see your is that a dog or is that cat in the back. I saw an
My,
animal in the back.
oh my, oh yeah, there
Yeah,
it is.
yeah, the
the,
animals they want
the
to
kind, the,
they want to meet each other. Yeah.
the kind of that, yeah.
Okay, let me see if.
Um,
So my prediction is, and I think this actually happens to me in all time controls, not just Blitz, but as you may know, I'm very much a perfectionist type player. So out of the opening, often I would spend a lot of time because I want to play perfect chess out of the opening, and sometimes. Even if it's a 3 minute game, but I will spend maybe 1 minute just trying to remember the theory.
yeah, I mean, that can be a problem, as you say. That's exactly how I saw it when I went through your games. It's going to hurt you in longer time controls, but it's going to kill you in Blitz. Because, yeah, you're going to need that time to take really tough decisions uh, later on. Um, and when you need the time, you don't have it normally. um, well, that's actually what I wanted to show you when I put down some games. Uh, are you in the game study?
I'm in 50. Yep, chapter 50.
Okay. Um, well, this one was against Arthur Morales. It was a 3 minute game. Scandinavian. Here you play quite fast.
Yeah, because
But
I this is
then
this is my known
Queen,
I my known theory. Yeah.
yeah, Queen H5 is just a bad move. I can't blame you for not finding the refutation here, but now I invite you to the other study,
Okay.
to the other kind for
Yeah.
golden.
Uh,
Um, first, we're going to solve this one. And this combination by Alkane is quite famous. And when I saw your game, I was immediately reminded of
it's
this one.
similar. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, knight c3, bishop b4, castle, queen a5, a3, and f6, and well, there here d5 is quite common pawn sacrifice in the c3 Sicilian to open up everything before he castles. But well, on this occasion, he had another idea. Okay, I had something in mind. After e takes d5, what do you think white plays here?
Okay, first of all, my instinct is to take the bishop because I know that there's some positions where the queen gets trapped in that corner, but let me calculate that. So let's say a takes b4, queen takes a1. Yeah, then maybe like b4 doesn't quite work, but the queen, it doesn't have many squares because after queen takes a1, it only has b5, I believe. Or you could count b1 as well, but it really only has b.
After
What was that?
Yeah, I'm sorry. After it takes queen takes a1, actually the queen can move to any square.
Yeah, but I mean,
At the moment.
yeah, well, that's what I'm seeing. I'm trying to see after the queen is on a1. I see it only has two squares, so I'm trying to trap it because I know sometimes you can trap it there. So I'm trying to make that work. Whoops.
Yeah, you need to find a way to attack the queen.
Oh wait, the a5 is taken, so there's only b1. There's only b1 available. So, oh yeah,
B1
whoops.
is also taken.
Oh right. So then, okay. I wonder if we have time for queen c2. Like queen c2 and then bishop anywhere. Queen c2. There might be knight b4. Knight takes b4. So queen c2, maybe knight b4. Um, yeah. So queen c2 doesn't work.
It's actually very hidden. It's not easy to spot. But yeah, it is a maneuver. Otherwise, you can't attack the queen.
I'm wondering. I'm wondering if I can bring this knight back, like knight d2 to b3, something like this. Because his queen, unless he can escape. No, but if I go here, he can't even go to b1. So
Yeah, and that's still the knight on.
oh, I keep forget. I don't know why I don't see that. I don't. Yeah. So okay, but here, um, I'm wondering if he has time to. There's still knight takes, which lets him. But then I've got knight b3, and I'm covering this again. So whoops. So knight d2.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, if knight takes b4.
Two also.
Sorry, I can't hear.
Yeah. The knight d2 also threatens another thing. There's another threat behind knight d2. Though knight d3 is still quite strong after knight takes b4, knight apparently is weak. But knight d2 actually creates another threat that black has to attack.
Yeah, I mean, I know that he can take on e2, but I thought we're okay after queen takes e2.
Yeah. With check and then knight d3 anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And you get, yeah, or you win the queen, or at least you get two pieces for the rook. And that's plenty enough because this king remains in the center. That's actually the pattern. This is not at all, but this knight d2 is very strong. You're threatening to take on g4 too. It's going to be two pieces. So knight takes b4. Even here, knight d3 is the strongest probably because you don't have a6, I guess. But bishop takes is also just winning.
I see. Yeah. Okay.
Bishop. The game actually continues with bishop takes, queen takes with check, still threatening this, and if queen a6, b5, for example.
What's it?
97, rook e1, and
Was this a simul?
Yeah. I'm sorry, what?
Was this a simul?
I think not. Podgorny was well, quite a strong
Oh,
player.
I've never heard of him before. That's why.
I mean, I've seen him. I think I've seen him lose against other really strong guys.
Oh, that's what he's famous for.
Yeah, he's a typical player. Yeah, losing to Casablanca. That's good. Yeah, that's how it usually goes. And after 97, Rookie 1, well, Queen takes 7 is straight castles, 93, and then, well, now he collects the knight and it's 2 pieces for the rook, and it's 2 very active pieces. Bad for black already. Well, we can go back to the study. Here you have the same thing. I mean, when I saw that this was possible in your game, I mean, it's quite remarkable that this Queen H5 is so bad. You can get away with the same thing. H takes, and if Queen takes, 92. Surprise, surprise. Nothing to be done about 93 now.
Yeah, I guess
I mean,
if you can, I guess if you identify that
yeah.
this is not, if you can just identify that there's nowhere for the queen to go, then you and white still has time to make such a move. There's no rush.
Yeah, yeah, but it's really hard to find if you pattern before, and even if you have, I mean, and that's one important point. This is a 3-minute game. I don't expect you to see this, and I'll probably miss it. I mean, it's not that strange to miss a move like this. I mean, on move 8. So, and that's the point. Bishop e2 is still strong. I mean, his opening play was quite strange.
Yeah.
Queen h5 is just a bit too many queen moves.
But then again, he played the Scandinavian. So what can you expect from him?
Yeah. Sometimes they go too far. Yeah, and well, now he's all in. He sits with the castle, which is completely fine, and he goes for it. Bishop takes. And he spent, let me see how much time. Yeah, 25 seconds until he takes h3.
You think that's too much?
But this is what in a 3-minute game it probably is. I mean, there are not many options here. You had something different in mind, probably. I mean, I see one more move there.
No, I wasn't considering anything else. I was just blunder checking. I was just making double sure that there's no quick mate. So I was just, yeah, that's all that was. I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't a forced mate.
Yeah, because normally you have to go for it. I mean, otherwise you're in a completely desperate position after bishop g4. Also, he's going to castle queenside, and it's going to be an uphill battle. So yeah, 25 seconds. I mean, it's not huge. On a move that you almost have to make, yeah, you can't size them. G takes h3. You have to do it and then try to defend. In a 3-minute game, it's quite a lot, and then you're going to need that time to make much harder decisions. And that's kind of what happened. There is another move. I thought, well, maybe he was thinking about this 95, which might be even stronger now. In the sense that it's
I'm a little scared of knight takes. I guess I could.
Knight takes bishop.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, it looked quite strong. I mean, queen h4 has to be played, I guess, and then pawn takes. It's always going to be hard for him to castle because of this. Now you're threatening to eliminate even more pieces. I thought, well, maybe he was considering this, but yeah, otherwise, g takes h3 is just too natural move. Uh, and yeah, you have to make it in a 3 minute game. You have to pull the trigger on uh, the most uh, important variations. And here, bishop f4. Well, it's not the only one, but it's a really reasonable move. Already bringing another piece to defense, nothing to complain about that. And here you spend quite a lot of time, almost a minute on this move.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't
that's why.
know. I have no explanation for why.
Yeah, and that's I mean that's what complicates matters in a blitz game. I mean, your opponent is clearly bluffing. I mean, from the start of the game, it's clear that
Mm-hmm.
uh, he's just trying to I don't know create threats and see what happens. But he's clearly not playing well. His attack is non-existent. I mean, I don't see how he's going to bring more pieces. Yeah, this is a bit annoying. Uh, And your move is really strong. I mean, after 1 minute of thinking about this, your move is really strong, but um, it's also quite sharp. I don't know if it's required at this stage. For example, something like 3 maybe to bring more defenders. Um, I don't know, 95. And there are many options. This move is strong. After rook takes, got to have this next move prepared. Otherwise, you're getting in trouble because this rook is also joining the. Here you played somewhat passive. This move actually loses. But what do you think White should have played here?
I'm wondering if I could play bishop g4. Bishop g4, knight takes, queen takes. But then my bishop is hanging. f4 is hanging. But let me look at it again. Bishop
Yeah.
g4, knight takes. Yeah, it's going to hang no matter what. Queen takes, knight takes, rook takes f4. So that doesn't work.
So,
Maybe maybe bishop g3 might be okay.
but then you look.
Oh, I can't. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's why this next move was essential. I mean, you probably noticed knight takes the bishop g4 check in your calculations, but you left
No, I
bishop
didn't. I
g4
didn't.
out. Maybe that was the case.
To the better move. I wonder if I could play knight d3. Knight d3 maybe.
Knight.
Yeah, knight.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mess now. It's not the same as it used to be, but yeah, 93 is a reasonable attempt, I guess. Um, but if this was the idea, probably then you shouldn't have played 95. There's a tactic here. You have a nice tactic that solves all your problems, and well, actually, you're much better. To liquidate all his attacking pieces.
Oh, I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, it's it's really hard. I mean, especially stand control. The thing is, yeah, now he has some sort of attack. You can't actually just sidestep this. That's actually what happened in the game. He played g5, and yeah, the attack was huge. um, but you're a piece up. You're still a piece up. I mean, there are 3 pounds for it, but they're not that relevant. Um, Sometimes you have to give some material back. In this case, have a way of doing it, changing the material balance, and you're going to give up the queen. And then it turns out he can't restore material quality. But you have to eliminate his piece. The idea is knight takes c6. So the rook is hanging now. And if he takes here, then you just take, and your rook and 3 pieces for the queen and a huge attack. What happens if he takes? This is the main point.
Bishop
If he takes on
a6.
c6,
Oh, it's mate in 2. Or not mate in 3. Mate in 3. Yeah, I see. Yeah.
exactly here. He can't take, and then what? If he can't take, then it's a big problem because you're also threatening this stuff. Yeah, that was well quite a strong continuation. It had to be forcing when you play 95.
I'm not sure.
Otherwise, rook takes before is actually quite.
Yeah, I'm not sure why I spent so much time there. I'm thinking it might have been possible that I was trying to trap the queen. That's the only thing I can think of. I might have been calculating how I could trap his queen here. Otherwise, spending half my time is not too smart.
Stuff like this.
Yeah, I was thinking I might have been planning like knight g5 and somehow trapping the queen. I think that's what I was trying to do. But I didn't. And then
These are hard because. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just going to say I think I calculated that, but then it didn't work out, so I ended up just playing a different move, 95.
Yeah, and then yeah, it became quite tough after this. I mean, this had to be found, or else you're in trouble somehow. Yeah, in this situation, normally in Blitz, you try to just avoid being mated and trying to make, trying to achieve some exchanges. I like queen d3. I mean, then you threaten this stuff, I guess, 95, 95, and you bring the queen.
That's
Yeah, after 95, rook take. Yeah.
no, yeah. Just for me, queen d3 is a very hard move to play, because for me it's the exact opposite of what I'm trying. Like going towards the rook is scary. So that's so I don't think of I don't even consider queen d3.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's hard to stay on the d5.
Yeah.
I give you that. Yeah. But the thing is, you're threatening to swap the queens, and that'll be great. I mean, that'll end it for him. It's not like he has a huge amount of reserves around your king. I mean, he only has these two pieces, and he doesn't seem to be in time to bring more, I think. So yeah, that looks quite okay. But yeah, knight e5 was a very strong move. Unfortunately, you had to find knight takes c6 for it to work completely. Yeah, here, I mean, you spent some time and you didn't find it, but it was really hard to spoil it, and it was the only move, I think. But yeah, now after g5, you're probably lost here already. Yeah, here goes to this, and he's attacking 3 pawns for 3 pawns ahead. But yeah, this is not the worst example of, but it still shows that yeah, some obvious moves that you have to take the bait here and take. They have to be done quickly in Blitz. I mean, there's no way around it. Otherwise, you just don't have the time when you need it. This problem translates to longer time controls. I found this game quite enlightening. You played this. It was a classical time control, yeah.
30-0.
So you kind of relax because you because it's 30 minutes. And it was Scandinavian. Knight f3, c6, everything normal up to here. And here you spent almost 2 minutes, 1 minute, 50 seconds, something like that, on bishop c4.
I was trying to recall. Yeah, I was trying to recall my opening theory because, there's so many move order differences in the Scandi. And I was just trying to recall exactly what my repertoire move was. If it was bishop c4 or bishop d2. Yeah. And I think both of them are playable because often you can play bishop d2. You can't really go wrong with bishop d2. But yeah, I was just trying to remember exactly. Because part of it too was... part of it too is because I'm like bishop c4. Yeah, like I'm preparing to castle. But then, often in the Scandi, you get these 2 pawns. So I'm like, do I really want it out this early? But then I just recalled this being, eventually I recalled it being the right move.
Yeah, and that's what you were telling me about. That's what Rawson calls perfectionism. I mean, you can spend 2 minutes on this move in a real classical control, time control,
but
over the bottom. Yeah.
Do you really think that's too much time in 30-0 though? Really, like 2 minutes? You think?
For bishop c4.
Really? Okay.
It's just a move that's not going to change the valuation of the game. Even if you play bishop d2, bishop d3. I mean, you might not get the most out of the opening, but it's a lot for a very natural move that has to be taken quicker. 2 minutes, I don't know what percentage of the but it's like 8% of your time, maybe?
Let's see here. Two divided by 30. Yeah, but 6.6%.
Yeah. Natural developing move on move seats. Yeah, it's something. But it doesn't end there. I mean, after bishop f5, this is played quite quickly.
Yeah.
So, 2 seconds. Though it's a move you can play immediately here. This is took you another 40 seconds. Bishop e7, and here on queen e2, you took another full minute.
I like that you're addressing this. I like that I like that you think this is crazy, because I'm totally on the opposite spectrum of you. Here, I just think like I've got all the time in the world. I can go up, like go get a coffee, whatever. Especially after playing Blitz, 30 minutes is just infinite time. And but even if I wasn't playing Blitz, it's very interesting that you say this, because to me, in a 30-minute game, like spending even 2 minutes on a move in the opening, to me that's no problem. Like, so it's very interesting to hear you say that. But it's interesting that you do say like 2 minutes, like that's 7% that's 7% of your time control. I'm very much like Grishuk in this way. Like, so rook e1, how long? So rook e1 was 44 seconds. I was just trying to. I just like to play perfect chess out of the opening. I guess it's a bad habit I have to break. It's so hard though. It's so hard to break that if you're a perfectionist.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot for these time controls. I know 30 minutes seems on the internet it is, to be fair. I mean, this is the longest game you're going to get on the internet. That's I give you that, but it's still a lot to, I don't know, spend a whole minute on a move that is completely natural. I mean, this is not a critical decision. And you can, I mean, a minute or two can be really important when you do need them to calculate some, I don't know, maybe you have to calculate a very straightforward line. That minute or two can really make a difference there, but there will come a time when you have to calculate, and this is not the case. There are many reasonable moves here. Queen e2, rook e1, bishop f4, all of them seem pretty fine, and they don't seem, bishop b2, they don't seem like they're going to change the evaluation. Maybe just a bit, but that's completely a non-event in a 30-minute game. Maybe when there are time controls like I don't know, 2 hours for the first 40 moves, then you can try to recall your preparation. But on a 30-minute game, you have to play reasonable moves out of the opening, and of course, if you recall your prep, all the better. That.
Okay, so when I play in the future, I'm going to imagine you behind me with a whip and going, move. Maybe that will help.
Right. These moves where you have so many decent options, maybe cut the time you normally use in half. I mean, if you take 40 seconds for this, try to take 20. That's going to make a big difference. Rook e1, bishop e7, and queen e2. They're just too natural. I mean, castles. H3 is a bit more difficult to guess, but it was, I don't know, 2 minutes on this. And it was, 3 minutes. 3 minutes or more on H3. That's
well,
10% of your total time.
Well, H3, to be fair, it was a committal move because I was going to, no matter what, play G4 after. So I was deciding on, I was trying to decide on that. I know that in a lot of Scandies, if the bishop goes to G4, H3 and G4 is extremely strong. But I know that's not the case here, but I was trying kind of a similar idea. I was, that's why I spent extra time there, because maybe you can divide it by 2, because I get 2 moves in one.
Well, after rook e8, then, but we have to adjust the position because of G4 took you like 6 minutes to play.
Oh, that was weird. That was weird. I guess I had second thoughts.
Yeah, yeah, probably. I mean, I know it's a hard move to make, but yeah, it's quite natural in the Scandinavian. I mean, you have so much space advantage that even though you're weakening your king side,
Yeah.
it's not like black can do anything
Yeah,
much.
but you know me, right?
Uh,
I hate moving
we-
pawns in front of my king. Like you know I hate that. So I need the extra time to build up the courage to play it.
yeah, and but that's the problem. Now you put yourself in a tough situation. Only 12 moves and your time is being cut in half.
Yeah.
uh, and yeah, you have a very natural position for the Scandinavian. But yeah, your opponent here spent nothing, no time on playing knight d7, which is actually a big mistake. Unfortunately, here you try to speed things up and you took immediately on g6, but you have a very strong move. Yeah, it should be close to winning, I guess.
Let's see if I remember, because I remember, you know, I analyze every game, at least every longer time control game. So let's see, I should be able to remember this. I mean, the whole reason that I create a battery is so I could potentially take on f7, but there must have been a reason I didn't take on f7 here.
Yeah, that's the bishop. That's the problem, for sure. And one of the points when you put the knight on e5 after h3, g4 is that this bishop is in some sort of trouble. He can't play h6 to bring it to h7 because of knight takes g6.
I think I remember. I remember now. I think it's h4 because there is I can't. It's either the Scandi or the Alekhine, where you play 95 or you play like h3. You play h3 g4 and then h5, and then I was angry. I was angry because as soon as I saw that after I was like, oh, I could have played h4.
Yeah, this theme appears in the Scandinavian, in the Kalkan. Sometimes the bishop gets there on g6. Yeah, he's close to being lost here. I think. I mean, how do you deal with it? If knight takes e5, you take with the pawn, and then the knight moves, and h5, the bishop is lost. So he can't really take on e5 without dropping lots of material. And well, the option is letting you take on e6, and that can. So yeah, this was a very important moment. Yeah, after knight takes, h takes, it's sort of a relief for him, I guess. I mean, your position is still okay, but it became a bit more difficult here after queen d6. I mean, it's nothing special, but now again, you spend a lot of time on this move, if I'm correct. You play, yeah, 7 minutes for this. Quite a lot.
Oh, did I play this game yesterday? Right. Yeah. I spent a very okay. I played this last night. I remember. Okay. My thought process was okay. So black is attacking these two pawns, and I, being very materialistic and greedy, I was trying to defend both of them. Naturally, I don't want to play. I know that queen d3 is the best move in post analysis. But I didn't like it again just because I just didn't want my queen on this open file or semi-open file. So I kept calculating. I can't remember the exact line, but queen d3. I was looking at queen takes b2, And then um, I think I realized that eventually that he couldn't take here because. Okay, so sorry. So let me start over. Whoops. So queen e3, and if queen takes b2, um, I think I was going to go rook e b1, and black can't take on c2 because I believe bishop d3 would trap the queen. So therefore, he would only get the a3 square, and then he would only get one pawn, and then I would get a pawn in compensation. So I that's what I spent. I'm just a very slow calculator, and I just didn't want to drop a pawn. I hate losing material, and that's exactly what happened. That's why it took me so long. Like I basically
Yeah,
I didn't really want to move until I could find a way to save save the pawns.
yeah. But actually, yeah, your rook A or rook EB1 and you here, well, it's a typical thing when a big
Hmm.
pawn is captured. Actually, I have time imagining him taking here. It always looks
Mm.
kind of dangerous. But yeah, the problem is that the options are, well, there are not so many options because the pawn on d4 is just too important to give away. You really don't want to play this because c3 is
Hmm.
coming after king takes b2. So yeah, look between these moves. Um, well, since there's not such an obvious difference, yeah, you have to spend less time here. Because after queen e3 with, uh, yeah, like 7 minutes on this move, you're move 15 and you have less than 8 minutes for the rest of the game. And again, other problems are going to, uh, you're going to have to face much harder. Because I mean, he played rook ABA. It took his time probably to calculate this stuff. Uh, Bishop B3. Now you have to start playing fast, really fast,
Yeah.
because then, yeah, it's no increment time control. Yeah. So, yeah, this move has to be made automatically, basically. Uh, Knight F8, Knight E2. Yeah, that's a problem here. You're taking a lot of time for really, I mean, I don't want to say simple moves, but non-critical moves would be the best description. He's being more practical. He didn't play better than you. I mean, not even close. He was even losing out of the opening. But he's being practical. He's trying not to hang stuff. Serving a lot of time for time scramble. Um, 95, queen f3. He plays natural here. I mean, nothing great. I mean, this knight f8 was. And now he goes knight h7. His maneuvers are threatening or anything. And now you make this. This is a typical mistake when we go down in time. We want to clarify things. We want things to be as crystal clear as possible. And now you take on d5.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
obvious
because
mistake.
I didn't want to have to deal with that night. It's I didn't want to have to dance around it. So I just okay, I'll just take it. Yeah. Yeah, you're completely right. I just trying to simplify at this point so that I don't have to make tough decisions.
Yeah. Um, that's what happens. I mean, when you spend a lot of time on decisions that are not critical in the end, uh, you end up making very important moves, well, under a lot of time pressure. um, this, uh, let's say the moves go higher in value as the game progresses. In the opening, you have many options, and you really can afford to even make some slight inaccuracies. It's better if you don't, but it's within the time the time control that you're playing. But here, a mistake could cost you the game. That's the main difference. And if you're low in time at this stage, then you're probably going to be in trouble, even though you played better than your opponent. It's kind of ironic, but it really works that way. Controls, because this is classical, but you know that. I mean, for tournament, especially there's no increment. And yeah, I mean, a move like, I don't know, rook d1 maybe, why not? I mean, there are no threats by him at this point, I guess. You're fine that, yeah, you have that problem with the time now. That's your main issue. It's not a positional issue. It's well, it's part of the game, but it's not on the board, let's say. Rook takes, rook d1, knight g5, and yeah, you start giving up bishops, and very complicated. Yeah, now this knight kind of loses its outpost there. Yeah, he's already better, and yeah, you're basically dead on time. I think that's probably your main issue, because even here you would have some chances if it wasn't for the time. Yeah, now the knight falls.
Yeah.
But yeah, in this game was, this happened to you in across all time controls. In Blitz, it really shows. I mean, I could have taken any of your Blitz games as an example, and you were winning, spend some important time on a move, and then a mistake. Unavoidable. I mean, in 3 minutes, if you spend too much time on one move, then you're going to make a lot of mistakes later on.
Maybe, and
yeah, time management.
And maybe I'm relying on increment too much, because I used to play just 5-0, and then I switched to 3+2 because the reason I finally switched is because I played a few players who well, I'm trying to remember, but basically they flagged me in like opposite colored bishop endgame, or like rook versus rook, and I had like 2 or 3 games where I lost on the clock, and you know, they're just moving back and forth with no increment, and I got tired of that, so I switched to increment now. But maybe I wonder if part of it is I'm relying on the 2-second increment, but I think that's only part of it, because this was a 30-minute game, and I as you said, I have this problem across all time controls. It doesn't matter. It's really hard to break the perfectionist out of a perfectionist, you know.
Yeah, I mean, for example, rook e1 and queen e2. I'm sure if I give you 20 seconds to take those decisions, you're just going to play one of those 2 moves anyway. Yeah, and the idea of time management is that, I mean, that's a move you're going to make anyway, and it's pretty clear that the move in the position you have to think, especially in this time control. I mean, it's a matter of practicality. Let me see. This is another interesting example.
This was against this was against a stream viewer of mine.
Oh.
So this was 10-0.
As usual, you have very nice. Yeah. Your time control and all. I mean, his turn is really strange. I mean, combining this saucing idea with rook e1. Now he's going for f4, f5 with the rook on e1. I don't quite get what he's saying that. And now f5. important moment. Really strange. You have basically two options here. I mean, you can let him take. You can push his knight back first, and you can play e5 right now. And yeah, it's true that he's going to have this square, but as usual in the Najdorf, you're usually prepared to fight for d5. I mean, it's not like he has huge control over it anyway. And he has spent too many times. I mean, this rook is completely out of place. Here you took, let me see. Yeah, 3 minutes. That's 30% of your total time. I like to see it in those terms because it's really graphic. I mean, when I tell you, yeah, this took you 30% of your total time for the game, you say, oh, yeah, that's a number.
Yeah, and actually, if we go back, let's see, at 8 minutes, so that's 40% of the remaining time, I think.
Yeah. That's even worse.
Yeah.
If you put in those stuff.
Yeah.
That's quite a lot. It's not a move that's going to. This is not the definition to the game. I mean, this is just starting basically. We're moving 11. Yeah. Is also playable. I mean, knight f3, bishop b7. And if he wants to go to d5 with the knight, which would be natural, you can just change everything, and this knight is going to expel that. So yeah, you should be fine. In the Najdorf, you usually have many resources to cover d5 in many lines, especially if you play so strange. But your move is. The problem is that it puts you again in a tough position on the clock. Knight a4. I'm curious about this move you made here. We played d5. Was this part of the plan, or?
Well, no. Well, I was really struggling with e6 here. What I was going to do about that. So and I didn't want to play e5. I know you just covered e5, but I know sometimes black can push that finally, that d5 pawn, but I feel very I try to avoid this type of situation. I just feel very uncomfortable with the dark squared bishop, the pawn on f5. Sometimes I can never get that d5 pushed, and then I hate that. That's what I was scared of. I was really scared of playing e5. So I was looking for another option here other than e5.
That's really interesting. Though normally this has to be evaluated on, in each specific case. On this occasion, e5 is really strong because he has no real control over d5. I mean, his knights are all over the place. E4 is a problem. I mean, he's going to have to defend e4. I mean, right now, if he goes back, let's say, I don't know, f3 apparently is the only move, bishop d7, you're hitting e4 already. And yeah, I know this dark square bishop is, well, it's the typical Sicilian bishop that is necessary. It's a bad bishop that covers a good pawn, as Suva talks about that bishop. And now his pieces are in real. I mean, this knight on a4 has no future there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to cover e4. Yeah, this is a great. I mean, this is a dream scenario for a Sicilian player, I guess. It's going to be very hard for him. Even queen d3 can be met like this, I think, because of e4. Yeah, this spells trouble for white. It's really hard to defend. The problem here is that if you don't play e5, then this bishop is very much alive, and that's not a good thing. That bishop is usually, I mean, normally you try to exchange it quickly, and then you can keep the economy seats, or else you need to cut something prepared against, because the pressure over e6 is just or you exchange the bishop in time, or you have to have this prepared so that you control the fight quick. Well, in this case, you have everything covered. E5 is an integral part of the neither fan of every Sicilian. It's a type of position that it will really do you a lot of good to analyze this sort of positions that you get in your games, and try to figure out if I works, if you can just defend these seats for good, go through some variations, and then compare with the computer analysis, because that's going to give you
more confidence,
kind of a taste for the position. Yeah. And here d5 opens everything up, and it's usually in white's favor, because Sicilian, you're usually underdeveloped for quite a long time. Yeah, e5 is coming like right now. And apparently you could still play knight e4. After knight f7, looks really strange. Yeah, and you're also low on time. He also took his time. I mean, he's on 2 minutes. Yeah, with this kind of initiative, it's really hard now. d5 falls. I don't know. I think you've got some chances in this game, or I might be mistaken. Oh no, yeah. Yeah, I think you did. Here he had to take on f8, and it made so not possible. He went a bit astray. I mean, with a minute on the clock. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah, now he's the one in trouble. That time. He only played very slowly. His decisions weren't. I mean, didn't merit. So.
I think he drops his queen. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you are not winning this game this way. Okay.
I'm always I don't know.
That's the perfect.
Yeah, I tend to do well in rapid for whatever reason. Even if luck always favors me in rapid, I don't know why, but
yeah, longer time controls in general favor you. I mean, it's clear that you get very good positions out of the opening against, well, almost all the opposition. I mean, I see that you all play 2100 guys regularly in the opening, which is great. I mean, you have a solid foundation there. Maybe we should work on some typical positions in the Sicilian, maybe. So that you have better handling of when you can play 5, for example. That's quite critical in the night of. Yeah, I mean, focusing on the issue of time management, some things you can do. I'm not going to say it's easy to cure, but some things you can do. Well, first of all, trying to make yourself cut down on time you spend in the opening, especially on those moves which are not that critical. I mean, if you have an option between rook e1 and queen e2, don't overthink it. I mean, don't give 5 minutes to that move. It's just not necessary. Of course, if there's a critical line and it's a mess, of course, you have to think. There's no way around it. But on very natural moves, yeah, you have to cut down. Yeah. In Blitz, you have to follow your gut. I mean, there's no time for nothing. So, yeah, no way you can spend a minute on a move. It's very rare that you get away with that.
Okay, yeah. And I agree with you 100%. Like there's no, like, all the evidence points to everything you say. And sometimes it helps just to have someone tell you that, you know, like.
The beauty of it is that it's not an intrinsic problem with your chess. I mean, you can tweak some things here and there, and it should tell in the long run. I think it's something that it's not so hard to fix, and can really change uh, your results there. Another exercise that is quite useful um, is taking a set of positions to solve puzzles, whatever, and try to solve them in a limited time.
Okay.
Of course, you can
Like each one, or the set.
You can try both actually. Both ways are good. Let's say you have 6 positions. Of course, you can take these calculation exercises, which are endless because it's not going to work. But these, well, easy to medium difficulty problems should work. I don't know, give yourself 30 seconds for the easiest ones and 1 minute for the others. And try to see the move and calculate some variations, but as quickly as you can. I mean, if the solution is not exhaustive, it doesn't matter. The thing is, you're going to see if your intuition is right, and if you hit on the move, you're going to hit the move the vast majority of the time, and that also gives you the confidence that, okay, I can calculate some lines, and my gut feeling is telling me that this move is okay, and most of the time you're going to see that, yeah, it's a move.
Okay.
And yeah, and you get used to working with limited time. That's a useful way. Of course, you're going to get much more exercises wrong. That's a natural consequence of having little time to solve them. But it should work. I mean, I'm not saying you should just go crazy playing Puzzle Storm or Puzzle Rush or anything, but that also works. I mean, it keeps you sharp. So all these things you can do too.
Okay. Yeah.
Reduce this problem to minimum.
Well, thank you. Thank you very. Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing. Yeah. Just one more thing. This game.
This is
You should
from.
concentrate on analyzing.
Okay, 2 weeks ago. Okay.
Like 3 weeks ago. Yeah, 3 weeks ago. This is the type of game that is really good for you to just analyze on your own and then compare to the computer's conclusions. This is a game where you drifted into a bad position and then just lost. Those games where you feel kind of lost as to where the pieces go or what should I do in this typical position are the best for that, because then you know, okay, this position is quite typical of this opening, which it is. Then you get to work on the structure. I mean, you're going to get a lot of positions like this because your opponent. I know it starts
this might have been the first time I've seen knight d2 in this Trumpowski. I don't think I saw knight d2 before, so that was new to me. that really confused me.
Yeah, and he's changing the structure. He's going for a stonewall reverse with the bishop on g5. That's all, but the structure is still the same. Knight d7, this is not bad. It's not the end of the world. Normally you play c5 and knight c6. A bit more active, but knight d7 is okay. c3, c5, bishop d3. This is quite an instructive. Yeah, I don't want to say mistake, but it's a slight accuracy. c4. What do you think the problem is? I mean, positionally speaking.
See, this is hard because I know that in a lot of positions, like for example, in the London, you have this option a lot to push or not. And usually it's not the way you want to go because white can just sit back and just break at any time. But what's been annoying is lately oftentimes I don't play it, and then the computer is like, you should have played c4. I mean, of course, it depends on the position, but often, like, I've had some positions now where the computer just wants me to push and play on the queen side. And I thought that since my pawns are pointing towards the queen side, I thought, okay, maybe I will get some space on the queen side, and maybe this will be okay in this instance.
Yeah. This is, of course, to just launch a queenside attack. The problem is that you release the tension center too early, and this gives about the plans to white. Now he doesn't have to worry about this anymore, so e4 might be an idea in the future. But normally, white wants to play 95, the pieces to the king side and deliver checkmate. That's what you're going to find. I mean, this is an extra option white has now. Your attack is not that fierce on the queen side. Sometimes it's true, you can go c4 and d5, but you're normally much better prepared than this. You have pretty nice control over e4 already, happening here for sure. But still, I mean, there are many things that are going to happen in this game. d5, 95, he follows with his plan. Clear that he's just playing the typical, in the typical fashion this set. d7, okay, 96. And now he plays a strange move, knight df3. It looks natural, but normally white needs to have control over e4. I mean, queen f3 is just too natural. Knight df3. You can play b4 right away here. You don't need a5. Kind of lost tempo. Knight takes, bishop takes, knight e5, e8, castles. Yeah, now the thing is, when white tries to, in these structures, this is typical the Stonewall, the London. This could come from London after you put a knight on e5 and you play f4. It's quite typical. I mean, white wants to attack on the king side, but you have a very nice trump here as black. That's going to save you any attack on the king side. What do you think that resource is?
I seem to recall that knight e4 here is, I think that was the computer's recommendation.
I'm not saying you have to play right now. I want to, otherwise this might even be an idea, so there's no knight e4 anymore. This move I don't get, this rook e8.
I didn't know what else. I didn't know what else to play. I think I was out of ideas here.
Yeah, because the move is, it's probably lots of tempo. It's not adding anything to the position. You can play before. Knight e4 is also, this option is always good. I mean, the attack for white. I mean, he doesn't change the wrong pieces. He lost control of e4, so you're fine now. If you play bishop e7, for example, I think you're fine too. You're going to jump to e4 anyway. And I'll probably go with this idea if I were white, but it's not easy. After rook f3, even here you can still play knight e4. Once you stop the attack on the king side, which is going to be quite, if you just block this bishop, then the attack is essentially over most of the time. And then you're playing on your own on the queen side, then it starts to become interesting for you. But when you went back here, then all these pieces are taking part in the attack, and with this typical combination, it just delivers checkmate. It was quite an interesting game for many things. Okay, this c4, it's a typical mistake. There are some classical games I'm going to give for you to see
In the other study?
On the lesson study. Uh, yeah, with a C4, which is a bit premature. Um, I will find them and I will upload them. Um, I thought here, if we go way back, no, these games are here.
Yeah,
You
because
can go to
I
the
think I had a tournament
uh,
game and then I played. I think I had a tournament game and I played C4, and I think it was in London.
oh,
I almost remember the game, but yeah,
the
I would have been
lesson study.
black. Uh, I'm not sure if it's still in there though. But yeah, I'm
Yeah, I'm not classical. Oh,
there's so many though,
what is
so many games.
yeah. I was thinking about um, this Pillsbury Wolf game number 7. It was a Queen's Gambit decline, but it was the same issue. I mean, look at the structure. It's there's a resemblance
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
there
yeah.
quite clearly.
Yes. Yeah, so it's almost identical.
Yeah. And here, this is a very classical game. Black needs to keep the tension so that this pawn is all. I mean, white is always kind of tied down to the defense of the center. After c4, yeah, you have this idea of pushing these pawns, but now these pawns are a solid formation, and if you can jump 3-4 in time, the attack is going to be quite strong on the king side, and that's kind of what happened. Uh, Still, 94 was an option for some time, but Black never played it. 94 is necessary even here. Um, there are even comments to this game. 97 is just a mistake. I mean, 94 is must. Otherwise, the attack is huge, and this pawn just cramps the Black position. There are 2 games with this theme, well, 3. From chapter 7 to 9, you're going to see how that c4 is normally quite bad when you play too quickly in the opening. uh, Sometimes you're prepared for it, especially when you can push b5, b4, and 84 quite quickly, putting pressure on c3. Those are cases when c4 tend to work, but of course it has to be worked out. Position. Well, that's one interesting aspect of your game. The other one is, yeah, the failure to play 94 in time, which is crucial resource in those Londons, stone walls, or whatever structure that that leads to a knight on e5 and pawns on e4 and f4. That's how I tend to recommend to work in chess. I mean, these games, especially in these games where you feel like you drifted, I mean, that you didn't have a clear idea of what to do. Try to, before the lesson, try to tell me about, well, I have this game where I felt a bit lost. It's in this structure. Then we can go through some typical ways of handling them. That's
Okay, I have an idea for
that's
for our next lesson, and I'll tell you right now if you're curious.
yeah.
It's that, and there's a specific game that I'll try to find. It was a draw, so hopefully I can. It shouldn't be that hard to find, but
Oh yeah, I think
it,
that should do it. Yeah.
it's basically that, there's some games I play where I played pretty much perfectly. I mean, I know that I don't want to say that word, but after analyzing it with the computer, like maybe one inaccuracy the whole game, and the biggest shift of center pawns, maybe 20 or 30 center pawn the whole game. And my question for the next lesson is, how I don't want the draw. I want to avoid the draw, and how to, basically how to play the game, with how to play that type of game, avoiding the draw. And I didn't make any mistakes, and I'm guessing the answer is I have to create some type of imbalance if you want to push for a win. There's actually a repertoire change I made. I'll show you quick.
Yeah.
I'll show you very quickly here in a new. Let's see. I'll go to the.
It's a rapid game. It's a rapid, or it's a.
It would have been a slower game for sure. So probably a classical game.
And which opening?
Well, I can't remember. Let me look through my games here. It was probably a classical game, and I didn't play that many of them. So let's see. So here's a draw from 4 days ago. I wonder if it's this one. It might have been this one. So let me add it to the study. Okay, what's the name of the? Oh, here it is. Always Dizzy Lessons. Okay.
Now I can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now? Testing 1 2 3.
Yeah.
Okay, I've added it.
That's a lot.
I've added it at 63. Chapter 63 here.
Oh, okay.
And this game.
Oh.
I think it was this game. I'm not 100% sure. It might not have been this game. Because it was only 24 moves. Wait, sorry. Was it this one? No, sorry. It might not have been this game. But even if it wasn't this exact game, it's the same principle that I think I didn't make any mistakes, but it's still a draw. And I don't like that, and I'm trying to avoid that. There's a repertoire change I made recently in the Sicilian canal line, because I've had so many games like this, and I used to play Bishop D7, but I did a lot of studying on this. I went through a lot of games in chess base, and I studied this a lot, and I found that with Bishop D7, if white wants to draw, there's not much black can do about it. Like it's almost impossible to try to win if white just takes here and doesn't try to push and just plays for a draw. And I got sick of just getting so many draws, so I switched my repertoire here. I now play Knight D7. There's Knight C6 too, but it's not quite as good. So yeah, I now play Knight D7 to try to get some imbalance. So because I really don't like playing. I don't like playing positions that where you don't make a mistake and it still is a draw. I just don't like that. So maybe so maybe in the next lesson, if you can give me some tips on what I can do about that, or if there is anything, is that just purely a repertoire decision, or do I have to try to make some imbalance? I don't know.
Normally it's not going to be so dependent on your opening, except for one line or two. I mean, this line is
like in
this position, and it's quite clear that it's. White played very unambitiously. That's white for sure. But as long as the pawn structure is not entirely symmetrical, there's always going to be life here. The rook e1, castle. knight takes. Oh, you play knight takes, so that
I really did. I'm trying to keep it. Yeah, I'm trying to keep it. Cause even here, I'm trying to keep it imbalanced.
yeah, but it is imbalanced. I would take with the bishop anyway. I mean, not a guarantee for a draw for him. I mean, just two minor pieces went off the board, and he's seriously underdeveloped. You have the most important semi-open file right now, as I see it. Have some interesting plans. I mean, the rooks go here, c4. Anytime he plays c3, you can really have a uh, nice pressure here, even though two pieces were exchanged. I mean, with best play, it's probably going to be balanced, but it's definitely not a dead draw. But
So,
yeah, we
so
can.
if in from this position, if let's say a 2400 like FIDE is white, um, and a 2300 is black, what percent of the time do you think the white will win?
White.
Yeah, if white is 2400 and black is 2300.
I think the percentage will be quite a lot lower than it would normally be because this position is quite sad for white. I mean, being the stronger player, maybe he keeps it balanced, or even maybe even he wins a bit more, but he's definitely not going to be up to par because this is not working great for white. Uh, yeah, it's really a sad position. uh, I mean, and remember that normally trying to just equalize so hard usually gets you slowly into worse position. But yeah, we can see some of this stuff. I have a couple of games in mind already to treat this issue because it's very common. Yeah, I can think of some of my games too. Uh, yeah, some of them come to mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at it.
Okay.
It's an interesting subject.
Yeah, I guess like squeezing, what is it? Squeezing water from a stone. I guess I need that.
Yeah, some patience, and your opponents are going to make mistakes for sure.
Okay. Well, thanks again, Alessandro. I'm certainly going to attempt to play quicker and not spend so much time on moves that may not require so much time. It's gonna be it'll be a process though. I think it's gonna take me a while to try to make that change.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, all is gradual, I guess, but yeah.
I wanted to ask you about the candidates. Have you been watching? Who are you rooting for?
Well, I was rooting for Caruana, but that ship has sailed. So, yeah, I guess Nepomniachtchi is just running away with it, which is fine. It's going to be entertaining, though. I think Giri will be much more exciting. That's a more exciting prospect of the match against Carlos because the two don't get along.
Gary's been playing awesome this year. He's been on it. He's been on fire. He's in the zone right now. He could still win it, right? He's 6.5, I think.
Yeah, it's just a matter of Nepomniachtchi losing a game or drawing two and then Giri overtaking. It's still possible, though. The problem is that if they tie for first, then I think Nepomniachtchi edges.
In the tiebreak, yeah, he's so fast. Yeah.
No, apparently it's is there a playoff? I thought
I think there's no playoff, right? Yeah, I think it's tiebreaks on on the
result.
Yeah, on the top match or on the
Yeah, and Nepo won the match, so
he's got to go all out. Yeah.
Yeah.
He can do it though. I like. Yeah, but that would be pretty cool.
Definitely.
Geary as the challenger against Carlsen. That would be pretty epic. A lot of trash
Yeah,
talking and
a lot of fun. Yeah, that's the idea, man. Yeah,
yeah,
to think about it, I wrote for
uh,
him.
yeah.
Just
Although,
one more thing,
yeah,
sorry, before I forget,
hmm,
tomorrow is a bit difficult for me
no
at the
problem. Yeah,
same time.
no problem.
Can we do it a bit later or a bit earlier?
Yeah, yeah, or even a different day if tomorrow is too busy for you.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. Yeah, I can't at 7. I could at 8:30 your time, or is that a bit too
Uh,
late?
yeah, yeah, that's fine. 8:30. 8:30 is good for me. Yeah,
8:30?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And
Yeah, then
and
that's good.
there's another game tonight, right? So I usually watch it in the morning. The candidates. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. An important day. I'm enjoying it. How are you watching it? Which is there like a Spanish broadcast that you
Yeah,
watch or do you?
yeah, on YouTube. The Chess 24
Oh, okay.
broadcast.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah, there are
I've
this.
been watching the chess.com broadcast. Um,
Yeah. Um, I always follow this Grandmaster Pepe Cuenca. He's quite
mm.
well known because he talks about the games as if he was a football
Oh, okay.
uh,
Like color
broadcaster. Yeah.
commentary. Okay.
Yeah. So it's quite entertaining.
Yeah. I want to see another game like that Caruana game against MVL in the Poison Pawn. That was a fun. You know, I actually have that. That's in my repertoire. That line, but
Oh, yeah.
not the whole way. Not when he. I think it was Bishop C4. I didn't have that Bishop C4, but I knew the C3 move. Um,
The C3 move.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. Because I think it's a very natural move to be prepared for because it's almost equal with the top main line, but it's interesting because the no one has ever played C3 before, even though it's objectively just as good, but no one's played it before. So, yeah. But yeah, thank you again, Alessandro. It's good to see you again. I know it was a long time since our last one. And I will see you again tomorrow, 8:30 my time.
8:30 then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks
Okay.
again.
Very nice to see you. See you, Tyler.
Yeah.